The obligatory comic relief.
I'm here for the countdown in
Oh,
5,
that's why Jamie's
4,
here. Right, Jamie?
3. I'm getting the mute button ready. 2,
Just here.
1,
The countdown.
and we're live.
So
We
Rick
are
Dees used to have an
live.
amazing countdown. Do you remember that?
Who?
Rick Dees.
Oh, he did. So
It was-
Madeline had a pretty good countdown too, and she was like, "For what?" I remember her
I
saying
know. But she's like, for what?
it's like, just do the countdown, kid.
Don't be asking any questions, child.
Right. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to the show. Mr. Pineapples, are you okay there?
Don't mind Jamie.
Hello.
Jamie's preoccupied.
I
Hello.
am. I'm gonna take that out, put it on the outside the door, and put my work, whatever I got
Put
on.
your pineapple crown on.
My pineapple crown. There we go.
Pineapple crown. Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
So I am feeling stuff. So I went ahead, Sandy, and I did open up my pineapple, so I could get the smell to kind of help me relax and calm me down, and have good pineapple feelings coming through. So
Okay, so last night, did y'all see? Well, I was looking through Noemi's all of her stuff on Instagram.
I know I saw all your likes going everywhere.
I know. Well, there was one. It was like she was drinking pineapple Coke or pineapple soda.
Really?
And I was like, is that such a thing?
Yeah, I get it for my kids every weekend, or occasionally. I get it for my kids occasionally.
What's the brand?
Oh,
is it the Mexican one? Jarrito?
Yeah, there you go. I couldn't remember the name, but I knew it started with a J. Yes. So over here,
I've never heard. And then I was like, wait a second, I have heard of that.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, you remember the place I told y'all, the combo sushi and burrito place,
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
Carlo
have-
something.
big as your head, La Bamba. Shoot, they're both gonna get me. They're brothers, and they both own two separate places that have similar things, but one of them doesn't have sushi, the other one does. Either
Wow.
one of them are great, but the sushi place, freaking awesome. And anyway,
Oh, really? Do your girls like sushi?
my younger one does. My oldest one does not.
No.
Yeah. What about you? Do you and your kids, your family sushi?
We're sushi. Oh my gosh. So funny thing. We were looking for fresh sushi in Montana. I'm not really sure what state. We were looking for somewhere that had sushi. So I typed in sushi and the thing said, do you mean sushi? And I went back and I had typed in sushi. So
Sushi.
yeah. I don't know why I was having to put a first H in there, but I was looking for sushi. Then I got mad because it corrected me.
Well,
Man, you gotta watch that. Freaking Siri. Think that they're smarter than us.
right.
So rude.
So
Hi, Linda. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Anita.
Hello, everyone. So how was your
We
day,
are two
Sandy?
minutes.
Okay, so my day was good. So it was basically like my Monday. Today was my first day back at work, so I'm just having to play catch up and everything. But we had dinner with some friends. They had us over for dinner. We had brisket. Y'all know what I did? I knew we were having brisket tonight.
A dinner like that?
No,
No.
I was like, that's how I have dinner. So anyway, so I knew we were having brisket, and at lunch I was like, man, you know what? I want some brisket.
Oh,
Don't y'all hate when y'all do that?
only if it's something like Frito pie or pizza and pizza, or something like that. But briskets,
Yeah, and so Grant
That's
makes
good.
some great brisket. So it
is
didn't.
that the place
compare-
y'all talked about before?
Well, Grant is a friend of mine. He's the one who did all of
Oh.
my brisket for my
No,
birthday.
we're talking about Evie Mays. That's where you need to go when you come back
Oh.
down.
Oh, okay.
Evie Mays. Evie
But-
Mays on Joe when you come down.
Yes, on Joe.
No, I don't think so.
How are you gonna suggest a place and then not even
No.
your buddy there?
You're more than welcome to go. I'll meet you there. We'll go Dutch all day. Right.
Oh, and then I got home and I had birthday presents at my door. So I accept them year round.
Oh, I see. That's awesome.
I know. Like, my
Better
little-
late than never, huh? What were they? I'm interested.
Okay, so I got, because everybody knows that I love t-shirts. I
Hmm.
have no room for t-shirts, but I got t-shirts. And one of them is like kind of sweet, kind of savage. The other one says "Not today, Satan," and one says "Jesus, tacos, in Texas." So I love
Man,
graphic tees.
that's all of it. That's right there.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Who-
But anyway,
Can you
had a
can you
great day.
can you tell us who gave those to you? Who sent them to you or
Yes,
whatever?
Brenda, and her crew. My sister,
Oh, that was nice of them.
yeah, and my niece Zeta got me a candle, and it's a watermelon something. I can't remember now.
Watermelon daiquiri.
Probably.
Probably.
No wonder
Yeah.
it was like drinkable. I'm like, I could totally drink this.
You're like, they know me so well.
How they do. How was your day, Jamie?
My day was good. Oh my gosh, guys, my day was good up until I realized tonight I have to take a test in a subject that I don't feel like I have any clue about. And you know what? Beforehand, I was like, "Oh, it'll be easy because I know scripting from back in the old days, from my batch file day." For all you geeks out there in the IT
Nerds.
world, yeah,
Nerds.
No
I'm
one
like-
said anything in the comments.
I have good experience with batch files and simple commands and stuff like that. But scripting in PowerShell
That's not
or
PowerShell.
no, it's not. No, it's not. But it is my experience with scripting. It's the most experience I have with scripting. So when I started, I was like, I'm going to do something smart. I'm going to look up the questions that people put into these tests. And I looked at them and I was like,
You're like, never mind.
I was like, what am I doing?
Jamie,
Oh,
what's your
what?
deadline?
It's tonight. And
Oh,
one of the tests is they say you'll get 50 minutes. Average completion time is 28. I'm sure I'm going to go over that. And then the other one I have a little bit more knowledge in SCCM. It's Microsoft Security, or not Security, Microsoft Command Center. And so that one I've used okay, but not as an administrator. That one they're like, you get 105 minutes to do that one. Average completion time 50 minutes. And I'm like, it's going to be a long night tonight.
It's going to be a long night tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't envy you.
I
Not at
know.
all.
I'm totes, not jelly.
But I get to take this little break here with us. I love hanging out with you two and our guests. I'm really excited to talk with them. So, yeah, I got that. What about you, Joe?
So today, what did I do today?
You slept.
He went to work.
No.
He went to-
Oh, you didn't
So
get a nap?
I got to sleep in a little later today than usual because we had to have someone come over and I had to sign some documents or whatever. And I was like, oh, she's not going to be able to make it here till 12:30, so I can sleep till 12. Boom. And I did it.
12:25.
So it's like, oh, wait, you got to get up. And then, so I also had to take my daughter's tower, her computer. She said it's been really running loud or whatever. And I took it to the office. I actually went into work. I know it's a scary thing, but went into the office and I removed probably about an inch of dust from her computer.
Gross. You should have videotaped that and
I
done
should
that,
have.
like,
Yeah,
satisfying
it was-
videos of
It was
cleaning.
redonkulous. It was
Ugh.
nasty. And she
that
was
was
like,
from your house.
yeah, and it was, why is it so loud? She's like, why is it so loud? I'm like, well,
You don't
because you
know.
had an inch of dust all over it.
Is
He's like,
really working
"Are you
hard on
supposed to
that.
clean it? Yeah, you're supposed to clean it. Yeah.
What in the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I had a photo shoot today. And then, of course, when I have the photo shoot, people are calling me, trying to talk to me.
That was
One
me.
of them was right there. Dang
Sorry.
it. Right there.
It's what I do, guys. It's
Right?
what I
It's like-
do.
I'm like, how do you time this right when I'm in the middle of something? I'm just like- and then the producer calls me, and I'm like, no, can't do it right now. And then she calls back. So that usually means what? It's important, right?
Emergency.
That's a
Yes, yes.
911.
Right.
Yeah.
So I go ahead. I was like, hold on. I tell my client, hold on. This is the second time she's calling. I got to make sure. And she's like, hey, what are we gonna do for supper?
You're like,
Oh,
I just ran to a payphone to answer the
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that
Leave it
was
to the producer.
what did I do for supper?
Yeah. Since she interrupted you anyway.
yeah,
so.
and yeah. So she interrupted me, and I was like, it's whatever. I don't care. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
You're like,
Yeah.
yes, I'll have shrimp.
Yeah. Yes.
Lobster tail?
Mm-mm,
Shrimp on the Barbie.
Yep. Hey, Jamie.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, who do we have on the show?
That's a good question. I've got an even better answer for you. So actually, it's really interesting because I think if anyone uses social media, you have probably been a target for what these two ladies do.
A target.
And
It's not bad though.
is that yeah, not bad. It's not bad.
Mad. I get people shaving their toes.
Right.
Well, I don't get
That
that.
escalated quickly.
But you know what? If these two ladies were hired to get shaven toes on people's phones, it worked on a third of the population, according to the show, if this is any barometer to use, okay? So that gives you an idea of what they do. But we've got two ladies. Their names are Natalie and Sarah. Natalie and Sarah run Two Social Co. It's a company where they're basically a social media assistant.
And manager.
And manager. I want to tell you more about that, but I'm not going to do as good a service. But I have met people who have been in this field, and they always interest me because I think it's amazing in a new world where social media is such an integral part to everyone's daily lives. I mean, we are broadcasting on social media right now.
And we
So,
have the word social.
and
Word social.
yes,
Right.
Sandy, that's right.
Very good, Sandy.
And so everyone has benefited from them, and we are going to bring them onto the show tonight so that you guys can make sure you're asking questions. If you have a product, a brand, a
Business.
service, any business that you ever wondered, how can I get more people to see me? How can I get my product, my service, who I am, to more people? Tonight's the show where you'd want to ask those experts, because that's who we have coming on for you tonight. So without further ado, help us welcome Natalie and Sarah to the Social and Distancing Show.
Welcome.
Welcome. Golf clap. Golf clap. Golf clap.
Oh, sorry, golf clap. He said,
Hello, ladies.
Hello.
how are y'all?
Great. How are y'all?
Oh.
Get in there. How are you guys?
Excited to have you on. This is going to be fun because there's 5 awesome personalities on here, so I'll make sure that my voice is loudest for all of us, okay?
Yeah.
I might be loud on that, but
Well, ladies, thank you for joining us tonight. You heard me talk about a little bit about what you do, but I'm going to ask y'all to explain that better for our audience. But before we get to that, I'd like to start with you, Natalie. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
okay, yeah. So I am Natalie. I was born and raised in Lubbock, Texas, and met the lovely Joe. He kind of helped start my modeling career. I owe it all to him.
Aw.
That, but I'll regret that later. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I recently moved out to Los Angeles, moved here in January. Haven't gotten to, spend a whole lot of time here because of everything. So that's okay. I'm back now. We're good. But yeah, I just do a lot of modeling and acting work. And I'm a social media manager for a couple of companies in Lubbock. And so that's kind of how I got into all of this and whatnot, obviously with the help of Sarah. But yeah, so
Okay.
that's
Cool.
pretty much it. My favorite cookie is chocolate chip.
Right.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say oatmeal raisin.
That's the only cookie that matters.
I like
It really is.
macadamia too, but you just can't go wrong with chocolate chip. So,
I agree with you. Okay, awesome. Sarah, why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
Yes, I am from West Texas. I'm from Amarillo, actually, and I grew up there and then moved to Lubbock and had every intention of moving back to Amarillo, and then I met my husband. So been here since and graduated from Texas Tech. I have a 5-year-old little boy that never stops moving ever. So yeah, and then I've been running social media for a couple of years. I have a dance degree, so I've been using dance and gymnastics the last couple of years as my career, but really, truly love social media. So, and we've taken this time to explore that a little bit more. And my favorite cookie is chocolate chip from Chick-fil-A. It's fabulous.
Oh yeah, those are some fat chocolate chip cookies. Yes.
Those are the Lord's cookies.
I just introduced those to my sister for the first time. She just had them, and I think
Really?
yeah.
Were you like, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, her favorite, like, her cookies are, I swear, the love of her life, you know. And so I always bring her cookies. And one day I was like, hey, I'm going through Chick-fil-A, blah, 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 blah. So I just grabbed her some. And she was like, are they good? I was like, yeah, please try them. And now I think she's hooked. So
Now she's hooked.
Nice.
In the after show, we'll talk about a cookie that beat me this year. A chocolate chip cookie that was about that thick, and it beat me. And I'll explain that later. Okay. So anyhow,
speaking of, your sister just said they are so good.
Hey, Madison, thanks for coming. So, ladies, why don't you tell us a little bit about what it is you do?
Sarah, you want to go, or you want me to talk about it? Sarah. Okay, well, I can talk about it. So Sarah's my best friend. We met in Lubbock, Texas. We both used to work at the same place, although I never worked with her. She was best friends with my sister, and then I kind of just got super close to her. So she's been running social media companies for a little bit, and I've been running social media companies. And she's a blogger. I'm a model, so obviously we've been running our own for a little bit. And so actually, like, right before I came back to Los Angeles, she was like, hey, like, can we meet for dinner? I want to discuss something. And I was like, yeah, for sure, whatever, like, sure. Anyway, so we kind of sat down and we kind of tossed some ideas around about it and whatnot, and started working immediately because we knew I'd be coming back to Los Angeles. And so, yeah, Choose Social Co. was born, and we're just a social media management virtual assistant company. We do everything from helping you build websites, managing those websites, to helping with your social media, engagement, pretty much whatever you need. If you're starting from the bottom, that's cool. We're there to help. If you kind of just need a couple of extra hours of help a week or whatever, we can do that as well. Yeah.
So, Natalie, my first question is, when y'all said y'all were going to meet to talk about this, was this like over avocado toast or something like that? And, you know?
We are chips and salsa margarita gals.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. All right. Now that we got that away.
We met the Marg, and yeah. So
okay.
I do like avocado toast, though.
I mean, it's good. I'm right. You don't knock it, but you're just like, yeah.
Yeah.
$8, $14 for.
Yeah. Just yourself. Everything bagel seasoning on there, you're good to go.
You're good, huh? So so you both got together to talk about this. Like, how did the idea even come up to say we want to manage social media?
Well, we were doing it anyway. So that's I run 3. She runs a couple, I think like 4. But she actually runs a little gym of Lubbock, and she is just really busy. Obviously, she's a 5-year-old, a husband, a family. I'm riding solo in Los Angeles doing nothing. So she was like, I have other companies that I want to bring on, but I don't have the time. And so she was like, I need help. And she was like, I just figured, why not, team up, start a business, and go from there. So, yeah. So that's what I talked to him about.
Awesome.
So what kind of, you get out the door, or you both have this conversation, you both are on board with what you want to do, and then you go out there. Would you say, like, was the reception good for you two getting out there and, I don't know how to say it right, but advertising yourselves as social media managers? Was there a lot of need, or, you know what I mean? Like, people nibbling to get that?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. We've actually, our company's only been live for about a week and a half now.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like brand new. They're like
new.
Brand spanking new.
But yeah, we've actually had a lot of success so far. We've had a lot of people message us. I mean, there's a huge need for it, obviously, for, I'm sure, I don't know if you guys own any companies or anything or run companies, but I'm sure you guys know how much time consuming it is.
Yeah.
And whatnot. So it's just nice to have somebody. And also, we discussed that, if somebody were to hire an in-store or whatever person to run their social media, PR management, whatever, full time, they're paying $15, $20 an hour at 40 hours a week, and they're going to pay $2,000 a month with us or whatever. you are getting a fraction of the cost, but getting just the same amount of work. It's just we don't have to be there to do it.
Right.
So demanding. If that I can do it wherever I am.
Right. I mean, that's kind of the model, the idea behind social media is like you shouldn't need to be
Exactly.
at any one location in order to provide the service to any of the PR. At least in this day and age. Back in the day, I could understand it. Right, back in the day, it makes sense, but now it's not. It's something that we don't really see that anymore. So when you have social media experience, and what would you say is one of the first things that you kind of notice, or maybe a small list of some of the first things that you just kind of you go in and you're like a survey, like if you're doing a survey of a new business, what are some of the first things that you look at and you see that help you gauge how well a company or business's social media footprint is? Take that and just however way it translates to your
Right, exactly.
answer the question of that. Sorry.
It is a single question, multi-parts with multiple choice, fill in the blank, and an essay at the end.
Yeah.
So what color are the
Definitely
aliens?
ever changing. I think Facebook and Instagram are so big right now, and then there's of course all of these new platforms that are coming to light. Like TikTok is really big right now, and it's constantly changing to make sure that the best of the best are always shown, and that businesses are able to target to their key demographic. So some of the first things that we look at are do you have a social media presence? Is there something that you've already set up? And you would be very surprised to how many people have not gotten their business on social media.
Really?
It's kind of crazy.
Now, real quick
is
on that,
great.
is social media specifically related to like Facebook, Instagram, like a lot of the things that you just said, or would people like some people assume like, oh, I've got my business on Google. If you do a search for me, it's on Google. Do they sometimes think that that's the extent of social media?
Yeah, well, I mean, I worked at JQ Story back home. I don't know if you guys know like who he is or whatever, but he is super old fashioned. It was very hard for me to even get him to let me actually like promote and market like his business on social media, because he's so like, oh, word of mouth, whatever, blah, 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 which is great. Yeah, word of mouth is fantastic, but I feel like, things have changed. And
It's word of Yelp now, right?
Yeah. Right? Well,
I did that. That was me.
but that's the thing is, people our age, if you're trying to target people our age, you have to have social media. I don't even consider companies usually if they don't have a social media base. I want to look at that before I go to a restaurant, a clothing store, whatever. I want to look at their social media and how that's ran. So
yeah.
Right.
And I think in the last couple of months too, social media presences have had to be there to really sell products or sell services. And so it's so imperative that you have a good social media presence, because a lot of times the first thing I do when I find out a new business or I find a recommendation for a restaurant is I go look at their Instagram or I go look at their Facebook to make sure that it looks really great before I spend my money there.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you have I don't know, maybe like a Facebook live show that's coming out soon, and you look on them and you're like, either they have no videos yet uploaded, but they're about to, or maybe they have close to 100 shows out there. What are some of the things that you would advise for people like that, those people out there?
Right. Random people.
Yeah, they have 3 co-hosts.
Maybe 3. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they meet once a week. Maybe they meet 4-5 times a week.
Maybe, yeah.
So, I mean, what are some thoughts that you two have for people in that field?
Yeah, we're asking for a friend.
Yes.
We offer free consultations. That's
Oh.
So in that case,
No. Yeah, well, for instance, I don't know if Sarah, you have any, perspective on this or whatever, but I didn't know you guys even had an Instagram. No offense. Love you guys.
None taken.
Yeah, whoever runs that one is terrible.
It's important.
I mean, she, they.
Joe. I know this, Joe.
It was so funny because the other day he was taking like 99.99% credit
That's
of
right.
that Instagram.
Oh, did I just call you out, Joe?
Yeah.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know
Hey,
who does it.
Joe does great on Instagram. Go follow him. I'll plug you. Joe Baker Photography.
Right.
Right, just not the
And that's
social.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Your social media is bomb, and you know what you're doing. So, but that's that's important to me. Is like, looking at multiple platforms too. So not just Facebook, not just Instagram. So I feel like for you guys, or your friend, I mean, sorry.
Yes. Our friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
Yes.
feel like your friend, could definitely also start promoting on Instagram. And you can, I don't know how, like what you guys use for streaming your web shows, but I don't know if you can do that on like the Instagram lives and stuff like that too. But that's a thought, just to get you on more platforms, because
There's an Instagram live.
We're proud. So, like you do.
There's definitely an Instagram live.
My mind's a little blown right now because it's the first time I've heard of it, and we have an Instagram manager somewhere on these 3 squares up here.
And you know what's so funny is our Instagram manager went live for his personal stuff.
Oh my god!
I'm so sorry.
Wow. Wow. So I will tell you, I was experimenting with streaming to Instagram Live with another piece of software because it's a little harder to stream to Instagram Live. You have to do it from your phone most of the time, but there's a little piece of software that you can actually 2 pieces of software that you can use to stream to Instagram from your computer. So that's what I've been working on. I was testing it. I mean, my friend was testing it.
Okay.
So Carrie's got a question right here. She's saying there is somebody chewing
I
something.
know. I heard that too.
Aliens.
I'm sorry. I don't know if everyone.
Wait, let's
if
see
the
who
audience-
it is.
No. What if it's me?
Then we'll do you first.
It's Sarah.
It's
Sarah, there is a sound coming from your phone.
there we go. It's gone. Okay. All
Wow.
right, we'll try to get. That was awesome. Carrie Patton Jackson. She's asking, do y'all recommend an app that we can post or schedule post one time to go across all platforms?
So we've actually, Sarah, do you want to talk about it? Or I mean, we've kind of been experimenting with a couple right now. My personal favorite is Planoly. It does cost a little bit per month if you want to add multiple social like platforms like Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you want. I think it's like $8.99 a month, which isn't terrible. That's my personal favorite, but there's a ton out there. Sarah, what do you use?
I think she's.
Oh,
so.
So I
Yeah.
an app called Preview.
Preview.
And I love that one because there's so many different apps, but it really needs to be like everyone plans things differently. I'm a big like I want to write it down on paper and I want to be able to see it and visually see how things are going to look. And so I think it definitely depends, but Planoly is wonderful, and then Preview is also a really great one. And I think that they work really well for both Natalie and I, who see things a little bit different visually. And so if that gives you a good idea of 2 that you could play with.
absolutely.
Right. So from my research, what I have found is that even though you have those posting apps or whatever, I know that Instagram doesn't allow like an automatic post. So it will allow you to copy and paste or something like that. Is that true for those 2 apps that you can like just it'll automatically post for you, or do you have to like actually copy and paste? It's more of an organizational tool than it is an automatic posting piece. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I know that there are a couple of social media platforms that do allow to schedule posting, and you can do that on Planoly. So you can schedule posts. I think you have to pay for it, and I'm not quite sure how much that is, honestly. But yeah, you definitely can do that on Planoly. I don't know about Preview.
Okay. Nice.
So earlier you mentioned like posting to Pinterest. I mean, is that really like a good way to advertise on Pinterest? I mean,
Sarah?
I
feel
don't
like
use
I see
Pinterest.
recipes and blogs. Huh?
Yeah, Pinterest is a great resource just because, not necessarily I would say is local, because but on a national level, if you have a brand or a podcast that can be advertised nationally,
For your friends,
this is a
for your
great
friends.
For your friend.
resource.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
for your friends.
Okay.
Let them know.
Right.
Right, because it wasn't the social and distancing show, right?
It says podcast.
Okay, so Pinterest is more for like a national brand type thing if you're wanting to get more of a national type of exposure in that way.
Right. Yeah. And people are constantly searching for random things a lot of times on Pinterest. It's not just recipes. It's like great books to read or great podcasts or great, graphic design or fun Instagram story highlight covers. And so there's so many specific things that people can search on Pinterest that if you have the right analytics and you have the right keywords, you are golden to promote on a national level if that's something you're interested in.
I would
Okay.
say definitely more bloggers use it more than anything. But
I couldn't quite understand that.
Say that again, Natalie.
I feel like bloggers use it more than bloggers who are trying to promote their brand and
Oh, okay.
or website or whatever. I feel like they use it way more. So
Oh, that's a good question. And then actually, that's kind of what I was going to ask.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it
Carrie's
says-
asking. Go ahead, Joe.
Can y'all speak on algorithms and how important or not it is to post multiple times per day, once per day, a few times per week, and time of day?
Yeah, the
Either or.
algorithm.
Oh, we're
I think
You
we
muted.
lost her.
Can you hear me?
try. All we're hearing is someone like chewing on your end. I wonder if it's the fan that's going on in your room that's causing that. Yeah, now we've totally lost your audio. Oh, it's muted. Yeah, this is a live show, y'all.
Oh,
I was gonna say I can talk about this in the meantime. Yeah, so algorithms are always changing. Oh, are you good?
Yes. Yes. Sorry.
You go for it.
Technology is growing my patience this year.
I think it's growing a lot of people's this year, right?
Right.
Am I right?
Yeah, so the algorithm is constantly changing. I think that the biggest one that's constantly changing is Instagram. And it's just because it's been flooded in the last year. And so they really are trying to make the most of that. And so originally, I would say that posting several times a day was going to be great. But at this point, if someone posts a couple times a day, it bothers me. And so I just want to see a couple of key highlights. Instagram has become more of a highlight reel, whereas on Facebook, I'm okay seeing a business a couple of times a day. So, and that again is just ever changing.
So on that, do you feel like live videos reach more of an audience than just like a wordy post on Facebook, or a combination, or?
I think you have to hook in your audience and then in different ways. I think that people want to, again, coming from Lubbock, Texas, I believe that this town is very community based and it's very personal based. It's all about who you know. And I don't know if Natalie would speak the same for LA. It's a lot about who you know and who you. And so if someone chooses to know you and care about you and see your name over and over again, they're going to tune into you, whether it's a post or a live video. And so I
They
think,
do that to me.
yeah.
They do that to me.
Yeah. And so I think as many ways that you can market yourself and that you can market your brand or your goal or your services or your products, I think that your viewers are going to be really excited to see that, because as they get to know you, they're going to be more supportive of you.
Yeah, so I've noticed, so the algorithm drives me absolutely batty on Instagram because, there for a while I was getting good engagement, and then all of a sudden I feel like I get what's the word? It's shadow banned. I feel like I was getting shadow banned, and then all of a sudden I have to change everything, how I do things, and those types of stuff. So that's basically what you guys are doing then, is trying to keep up with the algorithm and say, hey, so we got to cut it out now, and then using the analytics that are given to you guys through the Instagram or whatever helps guide your decision. And then that's what people don't understand with social media, is that there's pieces to help you advertise and reach the most audience.
Yeah. So one of the first things that we ask for when someone asks us to take over their social media is I want to see their analytics, because I can see when your followers are the most active, I can see what they're looking at the most. And as you grow in followers, that's going to change. And so that's a pattern that you have to stay on top of. It's not something that you can look at once and go, okay, I'm set for the rest of my, Instagram career, my small business career. It's something that's ever changing because your followers are going to change. And so I feel like it would be really beneficial to have someone that's solely focused on that, because you as a business owner per se just want to focus on the business that you started, whereas on social media, your business platform is constantly changing.
Yep.
Okay. Do you guys have examples like which businesses are best for which social media? So I feel like I'm stronger on Instagram, but if I'm looking for, let me rephrase this. On Instagram, for like modeling and seniors and stuff like that, but they don't pay. So I advertise on Facebook because that's where the moms and the dads are with the wallets and families and stuff like that. So I kind of have to divvy it up between the both of them to make sure that I'm getting that target audience.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that, businesses do, or, bloggers or whatever do better on certain platforms for sure. I mean, being a model, I don't post anything to Facebook, which I'm sure, Joe, you know that. Mostly because I don't want my parents and my friends to see. But no, it's just Instagram's just a better platform for me personally, and I feel like I connect better with people on Instagram than I do on Facebook. But I definitely do still post, the important stuff on Facebook, and I still have a Facebook page because it's important to have, like I said, multiple platforms for your business.
Right.
Because I still want to target, 50 and above who use more Facebook, but I still want to target, 20-year-olds and teenagers and stuff like that too. So I definitely think that businesses have one that sticks out more, but I still think that they should use every platform possible.
So it's kind of like a 1-2 punch, right? It's like you want to, like what Joe was talking about, you want to use like the young kids to get out there, he builds himself up. They like the way he shoots. They want him. So then they go tell mom and dad go to Facebook first, and they start looking and they see him, and, enough times with the kids now, and then it comes back full circle, because then Joe reaches out and he's like, okay, I need to engage with them. And then they see their posts on Instagram. They show their picture to their friends and other family. And then the next kid wants to see it and be, look what Jessica did. That's what I want.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, my mom obviously is a big supporter of me, and she follows me on Instagram and stuff, but I don't even think she knows how to use it. She asks questions about it all the time. I'm like, why do you even have this? So she
loves you, Mom. She totally loves you. Okay, though.
Right,
all right.
exactly.
So she shares my Instagram post to her Facebook, and so, yeah. So I definitely, like I said, it's important for sure.
And so how do you guys feel about hashtags? Is there such thing as too many hashtags? Is there not enough hashtags?
Hashtags suck.
You mean hashtag suck?
Yeah, that's what I want. Hashtags, 'cause they suck.
But
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
no, like if you're shadow banned, like Joe was talking about, they're pointless.
Yeah.
But I definitely still think it's important to use them. I know Sarah does too. So.
But there are those where I'm like, I read one sentence and then 3 paragraphs of hashtags, and I'm like,
okay, so Instagram only allows you to use 30 hashtags. You can only use 30.
the very small paragraphs.
Yeah, so once you hit past 30, then none of them work.
Right.
And that's what sucks.
Oh, do you all know that? not you guys on the show, but you guys watching, just FYI,
Right,
tell your kids, tell your friends, because that stuff helps people like me out. Where I'm like, I just,
right.
anyway.
There's all kinds of tips. So I feel like I'm more versed in the Instagram world. Facebook drives me nuts because it feels like on my photography page, I have probably 3,000 people that follow me. And then I pay for something and it's showing it to the 3,000 people that are already following me. And I'm just like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Sorry, pardon my French.
Language.
How dare you?
I will say that I believe Facebook is the best way to grow business ad-wise because it is literally the cheapest form of marketing that you can use, and you can target it so specifically. Like if I wanted to only target people in San Francisco, California that owned a pet fish, I could do that. So, I mean, it's a great way to promote yourself on such a specific level, whereas Instagram offers more of a widespread audience.
Like a catch-all.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. I've asked Joe and Sandy in the past because, Facebook tells us on our page, and how when you're the admin and it gives you those extra features on there, and it's like, hey, we'll boost your page. Here, we're going to give you $15 credit to use this month, or you know what I mean? They do all those little things, and I'm so not sure of that. I'm sure there's a lot of people who, we're a lot of people out there who are doing podcasts and shows now. I'm sure they're getting those type of things. Are those really beneficial for us, small places?
Those other
small groups.
Those other small shows.
Yeah, not us. We're international. Okay?
Right.
So, okay, that's all. But I'm just looking out for the little guys. So
Right.
is it really beneficial for them to boost their pages or boost this video or this post or whatever?
It is. And we actually were having dinner with a friend a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about how he had just learned in his marketing, he's taking some sort of marketing class, that it's so beneficial to try so many new things because, again, people, when they're on social media, they don't understand the value of spending money to promote themselves. And so you don't have to spend a ton, but you are going to have to spend some trying to figure out what's the best reach or what's the best audience for you. And that takes a little playing around. Nobody's going to be perfect at that when they first start running a business page or a Facebook page. It's going to take some playing around, but once you hit your stride, Facebook makes it so easy. And so you never know. People who are into podcasts might also be into this other thing, or they might be looking at this page. You can even target your competitors. And so it takes a little bit of playing around, which takes a lot of patience. But in the end, you can really hit the people that you want to see. So Facebook makes it very easy.
I'm so glad we don't have to worry about that because we don't have any competitors. Shit. You know what I mean, Sandy, Joe, right?
Yeah, for real though. For real.
For real though.
I'm going to start a webcast just so you have competition.
Right.
Wait, say that again?
She said she's going to start a webcast just so we'll have competition. I think we'll have to
I think I'm kind of cuter than you. So.
Oh, okay.
Dang it.
I don't know.
You know what? I got a cool.
You want to start a new
cool
business?
pineapple. You beat that. No, but seriously, there's so many tangents I want to go in a way, but earlier I was talking about there's a lot of people who are doing a lot more social media, or not social media. There's a lot more people out there who, we've seen it over even on here on the show. We've seen a lot of people going on and creating YouTube channel, becoming content creators essentially. It's happening like crazy right now because of the way that things are. And so, is there a way that y'all are going to be able to tap into that? Is that kind of your market? With those people be the people you want to reach out to? Or are you looking for more of the grander businesses?
So I'll be honest, we actually started with businesses in mind. And then the last couple of days, we've been flooded with Instagram creators and people wanting to tap into that. So you never know. Natalie, were you going to say something?
No, not at all. I was just, we definitely started off with some businesses that were interested and businesses that we had already worked with and stuff like that. But definitely open to, whatever, just whoever needs help and whatnot. And yeah, so.
Someone told me once that they were like their private pages versus their business pages, they get from the retail business in their like shop or whatever, they get more from their private group than they get from their business pages. And that's kind of like what you were talking about a second ago, Joe, but the opposite way. You were saying like your ads, Joe, they get to the 3,000 people you're already seeing, but you want to get the people outside of that group to increase that. This person was telling me that they see more retail flow coming from that same group that Joe was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, especially I think being wherever you are too matters a whole lot, and what your product is, because in Lubbock, Texas, like there's a lot of boutiques, and everybody knows everybody somehow. I feel like, and so if you're trying to just get local business or whatever, then you might be better off just staying locally and advertising locally, and you're most likely going to hit the same people that you have already hit. But I've always said that like people don't know they need something until they see something, and so just because somebody hasn't come to your business before, if you share something or whatever that is interest to them, they're gonna want a piece of it. So
Right.
if that made any sense whatsoever.
And there's some benefits to exclusivity too. There's a lot of boutiques, kind of tagging on what Natalie said. There's a lot of boutiques that run VIP groups, and just being a part of something that says something along the lines of, this is only for a select group of people. It's to you guys first before anyone else. That inclusion has a lot of power in sales.
Wow.
So
Yeah, because I usually will share from my business page to my personal page, even though I know that sometimes my personal page, people are probably like, okay, again, can you stop? It's fine.
Well, actually, though, here's the thing. Someone needs to see your logo and your name 100 times before they consciously start recognizing your logo and your name together.
Booyah.
So keep on sharing.
All right, that's it.
Let him be annoyed.
let him hate. That's what
Exactly.
you're saying. Let him hate.
Yeah.
Times it's like, hey, can you stop posting yourself on Facebook and your Instagram story and Instagram? And I'm like, unfollow me.
Yeah.
I'm
There's
like,
just click the 3 buttons in the top right, go down to unfollow,
right?
Don't do
And
the
then-
test. Don't test it out on us. Stop, Joe.
unfollow,
Stop.
and then piss. I'm sorry.
Whatever, Joe.
So Madison says, I may be the sister, but Natalie Louise Weaver has completely revolutionized the social media over at J. Keith's Jewelry. Sarah Nicole Estrada and Natalie are a power duo that will totally change the way you see your social media.
Aww.
Wow.
Man.
No, I feel like Madison is y'all's social
I was
media.
about
Great.
Is she your PR manager?
Okay, I've always told her, I become famous one day. She's my momager, 100%. So,
Aw.
She's a great writer, though. She's
Yeah, I love
like I've
what
read
she-
some of her blog posts. And they are,
yeah.
she's an amazing writer.
she is very good at what she does. Yes, she's amazing. But yeah, no, I mean, and I think that's the thing too, is like I said earlier, a lot of these businesses who do have like an older owner or whatever, who may not know how social media works or whatever, he has never done a commercial or anything like that, which is great. That's fine. Word of mouth has worked from the past. But, he sells tech rings and he sells engagement rings. And I obviously know that, like people of all ages get engaged and stuff, but the majority of those people are late 20s, early 30s or around there. And all of those people are the ones that started social media. And so I was trying to, get through to him, hey, you've got to spend money on social media and marketing now because you're not going to hit those people. And sure enough, I grew his Instagram pretty quickly, and now I post something and we have somebody interested in it, almost immediately, which is awesome. But, I think that's where a lot of people are missing out on. And those people either A, don't know how to run social media, like my mom. My mom owns a clinic in Lubbock, and I wouldn't even want to see her try to run that. And so it makes me think
We love you, Mama, still, okay?
Yeah, I love her. She's great, but she stresses me out when it comes to social media.
Don't they all?
So it just made me think, most of the business owners in Lubbock are probably around my mom's age, and they have no idea what they're doing, and that's fine. That's great. You do you run your business and hire somebody out that knows what they're doing, because you're going to see such a big increase in sales and productivity than ever before. So
that's why I've been so proud of Joe. Like, for as old as he is, to be able to get it, like, I'm just so, it's just so, like, it's proud. It's proud when you see, like, like grandparents and parents doing
I
that
just
kind of thing.
graduated 5 years ago from high school. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm coming up on my 10-year reunion. Coming up on my 10-year reunion.
Joe knows what he's doing. So it's like, Joe, you need my help.
Oh.
So, in your opinion, in your advice, like, say that someone or this show might be leaving for a little bit and they're going to come back, or say that there was a new show that was going to come on or something like that soon. Do you think it's good to do like a intro, like maybe like one of the first episodes should be like an intro to who the people are doing the show, or do you think it's kind of just go right in and do what you're coming on to do?
Yeah.
What would you advise?
Personally, as much as you can, it's because it doesn't matter if it's a business or a product, as much as you can sell yourself and show the world why you're awesome.
Right. No,
you're going to feel attached to you, because people are more committed to personal relationships than they are before they commit to a service or a product. So the more that they know about you, the more that they relate to you, that relatability is going to determine so many other things.
Yeah.
So then if this group or these people were coming back or starting new, would they want to do, like, I've seen something out there like a Patreon, for example, is this thing where, I don't even know how a group would want to offer something extra for people who are giving them money for, for whatever, I don't know, maybe there's some drinks out there or some popcorn or something like that, some chocolate chip cookies.
Right.
Like, should they do that? Like, is that a good idea for a brand to do?
Like trade photo shoots or something like that?
Yeah, something.
I don't know.
Baking cakes for them? I don't know. Did you get that? Did you get the question?
Can you repeat that?
was there a question in there?
I object.
Is it a good idea, or how good of an idea, or how would you advise if a group was going to do some sort of like Patreon? I don't know if there's other services, but was going to offer Patreon to their Facebook show, YouTube channel, whatever. Is there a benefit you see to that for a new group or even an established group that's been here for 100 episodes or so?
Well, I definitely think, like Sarah was saying about the whole, getting your logo out there and in front of faces and stuff, like, it's never going to hurt, first of all. And yeah, absolutely. If you are giving away stuff with your logo or whatever you do and stuff like that, or even for sale, I definitely think that's a great form of advertising for sure. Absolutely. I mean,
dude. So if our Patreon would be like, I'll give you your own personal notebook for me.
I love
free stuff.
Yes, your own personal notepad.
Love free stuff. And not only that, but if you give somebody something, or you do something for them, they're going to want to do something for you. So if you give somebody a notepad or whatever, and they use that, and they don't need you right now, but like a month from now, they're like, oh, hey, I need a social media assistant now. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, Natalie and Sarah, Two Social Co. gave me this notepad. Maybe I should see what they're up to. Like, it never hurts. So
adding to list, buy notepads.
Right?
Buy notepads, yes.
Notepads.
But yeah. Could we get? Yeah, we can probably get notepads, or our friends could.
Oh, are business cards a good idea for a brand too?
Yes.
Yes, but it depends on what you're doing, I would say. But yes.
Okay.
I definitely.
Okay.
To answer the question, yes.
Plus the notepad.
Plus the notepad.
The notepad.
Because people will collect pens and notepads. We have them at our office. The same people come in. The same people take 5.
Yep.
Every single time.
People love notepads. People love pens. People love koozies, T-shirts, stuff like that. So.
Y'all know I love t-shirts.
Some merch.
Yeah, it's a shaka.
Can I have one, Joe?
Sure. Yeah. I got.
You know, we got it.
I got to talk to my people. They'll be in touch with your
Right,
people.
our merch
We'll make it
people will
happen.
holler at you.
The entire time, will they be sending me the t-shirt, or will you be doing it?
Right.
Hashtag cotton spoiled.
Right.
Hashtag spoiled cotton.
So that's what I said.
Right. So Sarah and Natalie, what is the ultimate goal for y'all for your newly found business? I know it seems like it's like gotten a really nice jump start. Where do you see it going, and where would you like to see it going?
Well, it's funny because we actually just talked about this earlier today. For me, I don't do very well working for people.
No.
I feel you, Natalie.
I don't know this Natalie. Which Natalie?
What I want when I want. I don't want to you only get 10 days off a year. I'm like, no, I'm gonna need at least 50. So I just like traveling.
He's a great business partner, y'all.
Preach it, Natalie. Preach it.
So on my half of it, or what I think about it, I'm hoping that this can be a full-time job that we get to do for however long social media will let us do it for. Obviously, things are always changing. So, but yeah, I would definitely like to have this as just my only job, my full-time job, and be able to travel and kind of do work wherever I need to do it. So
nice.
Okay.
And Sarah, are you the same?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have a 5-year-old, and he's my whole world. And so the more time I'm able to spend with him, the better. And so that's kind of what I've always kept my mind on, is what can I do to make the most out of life, but also soak up every second with him before he doesn't like me anymore as a teenager.
Right. That happens around 12 or 13. I'll let you know.
Super.
No, it doesn't. Mine still love me.
I was gonna say, mine's at 12, and she adores me. She
No.
awesome.
She said son. So my boy was a mama's boy up until around 12, and now he's a daddy's boy. So that's what I meant.
Gotcha.
But Sandy's kids still love her.
Right, they still love me. They've always, it's so funny. They've always loved me.
How could they not? You're great.
Right.
Thanks.
She's like, thanks.
Appreciate that.
This is why I'm not having kids, though. I'm not gonna push a child out and then it hate me at some point. Which is
Never really heard it said like that, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
you hate me.
That's true.
I can vouch that I would probably be a terrible mom. So.
No, she wouldn't. She'd be a very interesting mom.
Fair enough.
She's not Aunt Nat, though, I will say.
I'm a great aunt.
Yeah.
I love being an aunt. But
Oh, she's a great aunt. Yeah. She's like, okay, we're done. Here you go.
exactly. Yeah, it's freaking great. I love it. I'm like, once they piss me off, goodbye.
No, right.
They go to Natalie, and then she tells me everything they say. So
Oh.
I will be the bad aunt that gets everybody's kids into trouble, but it's fine.
Man, well, time flies, y'all.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is 58 minutes.
So what we like to do at this point of the show, Sarah and Natalie, is we like to we like to give you some time to kind of shout out whatever it is you want to shout out to. So with that, we are going to exit the screen and give you the screen, and we'll come back in as soon as you're done. We'll give you just a couple seconds here, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I don't even know what to say.
Well, we thank you guys so much for jumping in. We are, again, Natalie and Sarah with Two Social Co., and we just launched last week, which has been very exciting.
Yes. Yeah. If you guys seriously need any help with anything, feel free to message us. We're always willing to offer advice in any way, shape, or form that we can. So
yeah, and we are definitely really trying to strive to be very flexible with what people are needing. We know that the last couple of months have not been super easy on small businesses. And so we are excited to help people just on a super personal level and customize packages based on your social media presence needs, whether that's your website, your Pinterest, your Instagram, or your Facebook. So
yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's anything I need to add to that. So I don't
yeah.
know.
Awesome.
Well, we will need to add your contact info so we can put it in the comments so people can know how to get a hold of y'all. So
Absolutely.
we'll grab that and we'll be sure to put that in there.
Okay. And then the last thing we like to do is we like to ask our guests to give us a topic for a future episode. So with that in mind, Natalie and Sarah, do you both have a topic for us for the future?
I think we do. You have one, right, Sarah?
Yeah, yours goes first, Natalie.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I don't know how to like word this or whatever, but my sister just had a little baby boy. She had him back in May, so kind of, through the thick of everything that's going on and whatnot. And she was gonna have her birth plan was to have the baby in the hospital and do it the way she had it with her first and stuff. Well, support system is a big deal to her, and they weren't going to allow her to have people in there. Obviously, I'm sure you kind of have been hearing about that and stuff. Also, her husband's a firefighter, and so if he was on shift, he wouldn't be allowed to come in once she had been admitted. So she completely changed her birthing plan last minute to do a birthing center, and I think it would be really cool to kind of, she used heartbeat midwifery in Lubbock. But I think it would be cool to kind of talk about that and how that might become more of a normal thing for women. Also, October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. So I don't know, but I just thought that would be kind of cool because I feel like a lot of women are kind of lost right now on what to do. And It's one of the coolest experiences. So, yeah.
So she used a midwife then?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying, right?
Or a doula?
The doula services.
Yeah, she had both.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. I wrote it down.
And Sarah, what is yours?
Yeah, I think as a parent, I think I've gotten to a good stride of how to handle the last couple of months, but I'm still searching for that as a parent for my child. And so he started kindergarten in the fall. So I think that one of the biggest things that I'm currently searching for is different ways to create normal for him. And so I would be very interested in seeing other opportunities for him to have some normalcy outside of just what we're doing in our own home. So,
wow.
Wow.
Those are hard topics, y'all. Just kidding.
Hey,
I mean, those are great topics, y'all. Fantastic.
Tell me in the studio, you're going to challenge me. I'm challenging.
Right, exactly.
Say
Exactly.
Okay. Excellent. I wrote them down. Got them. All right, ladies, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. It was such a pleasure. There was so much I feel like we didn't even get to talk and get to, but man, yeah, we might have to have y'all come back for episode or a part 2 later.
Yeah.
Right. And
it was like never again.
I was like, really? Thanks.
Oh gosh.
No, y'all did awesome. Y'all did awesome.
So if you want to hang out in the green room when we're done, we can come back and talk for a little bit more. If you have to go because you've got a life,
The bibis.
the
Bibis.
then that makes sense too.
We're
Okay.
gonna start our own green room without you three.
Oh, I see. Okay. Natalie can leave.
So anyhow, thank you so much, ladies. All right, have a great night.
Yes, thank
We'll
y'all
talk
so
to you in a
much.
little bit.
We'll talk to you here in a little bit.
Thank
All
you.
All right.
Wow, that was like a lot of information.
It really was.
There's just so much you can. I mean, I know we could have gone further. I mean, because there's just so many things. Because I'm the social media person for our office, and I get bogged down because I'm like, I'm doing this. I know. I'm going. I'm the social media. I'm the posting to my Instagram, to the Twitter, to. But
Right. I know the social media guy for us, but he's not very good.
I recently did something to, and now I can't post my stuff anymore.
Oh.
Is that
I
because we got
can't.
put in Facebook jail kind of thing, or
No. So, like one of our carriers, like they give you like little topics that you can post, and it had authorized it this whole time. And I cleared some cookies. I did something, and now it won't authorize it anymore. So now it'll just post to my other couple, but it won't post to my Facebook anymore. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to
Yikes.
figure it out.
that might have been Facebook updating their security protocols?
That might be a question for them in the green room.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm the social media person.
Lots of fun. Social media.
News to me.
Lots of
News
fun.
to me.
I know.
Oh
I
my
don't.
gosh.
I don't
All
put that on my resume.
On the resume.
So, everyone, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I've got a guest that I'm lining up for tomorrow that I think is going to be pretty interesting. We'll let you know in the promo, either later tonight or tomorrow morning, okay? And then
Awesome.
Friday, we'll come back for our true crime edition of our Freaky Friday. And I am excited to share my story with you all. It's been a week in the marinade, so it'll be cool, I think.
Nice.
Okay? And so, everyone, we love you. Have a great night, and thanks for hanging out. And as usual,
Remember to wash your hands.
for at least 20 seconds.
You filthy animals.
Good night, everybody.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Arrivederci. Au revoir.
Is there a song that goes
Hasta
with
la
good night?
vista. Sayonara. Bye bye.
Good night, moon.
Aloha.
Bowl full of mush.
Toodles.
I used to read that to Kate all the time.
You remember all
Both.
those kid books that you did that, and it's like,
Bowl full of
man,
mush?
Yes, good night, moon. Good night, something.
Oh.